If you're new to my channel, it's likely because of my Captain Laserhawk video. During that video, I discussed the clear passion for retro gaming and 80s and 90s sci-fi synthwave media that the creators clearly had. It absolutely bleeds onto every frame of that show, and pretty much encapsulates the show's aesthetic. In recent memory, we've seen a lot more reverence for 80s and 90s sci-fi, with many of these movies and shows being brought up in popular discussion or simply referenced in terms of aesthetic or visuals. Why is this exactly? Well, the easy answer might seem like nostalgia. Companies profit from bringing back properties from decades ago that audiences maybe grew up with and have a fondness for. But does it go deeper than that? Personally, I think it does to some degree. In many ways, a lot of media from back then is actually more relevant than ever today. And today, I want to show exactly what I mean by that. For instance, a memorable example from 1998 would actually be The Trumans Show starring Jim Carrey. This movie was named in 2008 as one of the 10 most prophetic science fiction films by Popular Mechanics, which, considering the story and the themes explored in this film, I absolutely agree. The story revolves around Truman, a seemingly normal man, who, unbeknownst to him, is actually the star of the most popular show on television. And his life as he knows it is all a lie, and is the show, being broadcast to millions of people every day. This is a horrifying reality given the fact Truman was taken at birth and plunged into this experimental reality TV show, where his reality is in fact a falsehood. Eventually, he figures out what is really going on, close to the show's 30th anniversary, and by default, his 30th birthday. He makes the choice to abandon this false reality, even though it may have been pleasant. He could not bear the thought of being lied to, even if it was a nice-seeming lie. And the show is effectively cancelled, with its titular star gone. Therefore, Truman is now a true man. Ha 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 ha, I can't make jokes that are funny. In all seriousness, this movie was really very ahead of its time, with a lot of parallels in an odd sort of way to the current state of the internet and social media. With social media, you more often than not are only seeing a fragmented reality, simply a fraction of somebody's life. You may very well just be seeing the parts the person feels comfortable sharing and is content with. This can lead to unrealistic expectations for oneself, and potentially an over-reliance on the approval of others online to feel validated or self-confident. In Truman's case, he was only seeing a fraction of the world, what the network's executives wanted him to see. In our case, with social media, not always per se, but a good portion of the time, you are really only seeing one side of the coin, if even that. I'm guilty of this myself, often doom scrolling through Twitter or Instagram when bored. Although as of late, I have been trying to take up a healthier lifestyle, with writing and reading up on philosophy and ideology that I feel like will help me as a creator who makes these kinds of videos. However, there is no denying that when you are in a saddened state, social media is often the worst place to be, and sometimes it can be the cause of that saddened state. Going a bit further with skewed realities, I want to discuss 3 particular movies here: Tron, Ghost in the Shell, and The Lawn Mower Man. These movies all cover virtual reality, which is a very real thing in this day and age. However, all 3 actually have very different takes on such a thing, looking deeper at these 3 films. Let's look at Tron first. Tron was a landmark movie for Hollywood special effects, in a lot of ways touches on the ideas of AI and of virtual reality, long before any of these things became part of our lives. This movie was very ahead of its time. But the interesting part to me is how it chooses to touch upon such a concept. Rather than creating a disaster movie or an apocalypse movie, where the AI or robots choose to rebel against humanity, Tron showcases a sort of rift between the types of AI found within this world. There are AI, called programs here, who treat the user who created them almost like their god, and insist on the importance of the users and wish to work with them to craft a better future. On the other side of the coin, there are other programs who wish to make a better future for themselves and view the users as imperfections that must be killed off. This is a very interesting portrayal of such a world, given there arguably still hasn't been any media like it today. Interesting enough, Ghost in the Shell actually offers a similar idea, albeit in a more philosophical manner. Ghost in the Shell takes the core concept of Taoism, coined by Chinese philosopher Lao Tzu, which is his primary philosophy, and states we are all part of that which is around us. In Ghost in the Shell, a human woman is tracking down a rogue AI, but eventually upon speaking with this AI, and learning it is lacking what she has, chooses to merge with it in a sort of synthetic process. Essentially, she becomes one with this machine and creates a completely new kind of being in doing so. Our final example, the Lawn Mower Man, actually has a very similar idea to Ghost in the Shell in this sense, in terms of becoming one with technology, but it takes a much darker turn. The idea is that a neurodivergent gardener is experimented on by a scientist wanting to enhance people's intelligence through virtual reality technology and a digital world within people go to undergo training courses for their mind. However, this radically backfires, with the gardener gaining psychic abilities and going on a rampage taking out anyone and everyone he feels has wronged him in his life. He gains the ability to leave his physical body and completely merges with the digital space, and attempts to find a way to eradicate all of humanity. These movies are all science fiction, but in today's world, they all actually share similarities with today's culture involving technology, virtual reality, and the internet. Tron showcased a world where AI can cooperate with humanity and help better things for everyone, but also on the flip side, AI can also seek to replace humanity and make there no need for it. Ghost in the Shell shows it is very possible to become completely immersed in technology and entirely dependent on it. And the Lawn Mower Man shows how technology can completely corrupt someone who would otherwise never do diabolical things. These are absolutely parts of today's culture in one way or another. With the advent of AI-generated written works and art pieces, how we are often very dependent on our phones or devices as a whole. And in some cases, it can corrupt people. All in all, I do think technology has done a lot of good, and it still can. Heck, I wouldn't be making this video for all of you without technology. But with technology becoming more and more advanced, and these older pieces of media being brought into discussion for how, in some ways, they are funnily prophetic, it is important to keep in mind the value of human creativity and thought. All in all, this goes to show how much creativity, and in some cases foresight, went into these pieces of media.
Someone said if you die in VR chat, you lose your dignity in real life. Oh, I've been dying in VR chat my whole life.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like. If you didn't like it, give it a like anyway. Thank you for everyone that has supported me, and we are now actually a YouTube partner. We are getting monetized for these videos. We still need to get to 1K to receive ad revenue and other benefits that come with YouTube partner, but the fact we're here is mind-blowing to me. I never in a million years would see myself doing this, so thank you to everyone that's come by my Twitch streams, everyone that's watched these videos, everyone that's watched my TikTok, my Instagram, just kept up with me and supported me in general. It means more than you know, so thank you to everyone that's been there for me. I really look forward to doing more on here and continuing to make philosophical media analysis videos for all y'all. All my socials are in links below if you're curious. Like this video, share, subscribe. Really helps as we continue to the push for full benefits of YouTube partner. But thank you all for just being there for me in general. It means a lot. But for now, I've been Noah the Honor, and I'll see you in the honor side. Bye!